How you lose? Quarter zip, zip, zip. What's up, guys? Quarter zip here. I have been challenged by Frostbeard from Adventures of Frostbeard for my luxury item challenge. And so we're going to go through a couple pieces of gear today that I consider luxury. Some of them might be for reasons that the typical backpacker might not consider them a luxury. But once again, this is hiking to lose, so we take a little bit different approach here sometimes to the gear we're looking for and the gear we choose. Kick it off, the first piece of gear I want to talk about was one of the first pieces of gear I bought. The first backpacking trip I ever did was River Trail in Illinois. We did like Gardens of the God to the Lush Creek Wilderness, and getting ready, trying to learn about backpacking, and it came to water filtration. And so most of the guys were like, yeah, we're just going to get the filtration pills and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, man, I want to make sure I have good, clean, filtered water. So I ended up putting the money out and I bought this guy right here. This is the Platypus Gravity Works system. And basically it's two 3-liter bags. One dirty bag, one clean bag, and it's got a filter in the center, and you just hang it up. So all these components and stuff go in here. The first couple times I used this filter, it worked great. And then I left it out in my garage over the winter and it froze and I broke the filter. So I've since replaced it with a Sawyer filter that I've put inside this little kind of neoprene sock that I made. But this is one of the hands down one of my favorite pieces of luxury equipment I have. And yes, water filtration isn't a luxury, but you can get by with just like a Sawyer squeeze or the water filtration tablets or that kind of stuff. But it's great to be able to go to camp, put 3 liters of water in a bag if you have on the trail where that kind of running water is available, hang it up, set up camp, and have plenty of fresh drinking water. It's even better when you're backpacking with a group, 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people, depending on how many you're going. Now one person just needs to bring water filtration. Everybody doesn't need to have their own little pump filter that they're over there sitting there pumping their water up and that kind of stuff. And so this has been a huge luxury. So whenever I go backpacking with a friend, I said, hey man, I'll bring the filter, you bring the saw. Now we're each saving weight in our pack, and we have everything we need to be successful for the day. So my first luxury piece of equipment is the Platypus Gravity Works system. I've never had any issues with it except for my user error, and those Sawyer filters, I believe it was Sawyer Squeeze I got, replaced right into it, and it was like 20 bucks for that filter. The one downside with this piece is it was about $100+ when I initially bought it. And so that was one of my initial big first investments in backpacking. But it has worked for me great ever since. Some of the bags are starting to get to the point where I might replace them. But I've had some friends just do some dry sacks and add the plumbing quick connect pieces in and do some seam sealer on it and have real low cost ways of fixing that bag. So first piece of equipment, Platypus Gravity Works, because gravity does work. All right, so piece of luxury equipment number 2 I want to talk about is my cook set. So this is everything. This is my cook set. A lot of people, this is standard equipment, but for me, this was a huge luxury when I upgraded. I'll bring my old cook set into frame here real quick. I use a homemade alcohol stove, so I had this guy here that I made out of the bottom of stainless steel bottles. I would put it on this Tostitos plate as a little igniter plate. I would carry a bottle of fuel. And then these two guys here was the pot and cup I carried. I now use them for melting wax to make fire starters. So they did not go away. But my first trips I took, also had my windshield. So I carried all of this and replaced it with all of this. I wasn't worried about spending too much money or weight on a cook set my first trip, so I just went to Goodwill and I bought some pots and I bought some stainless steel water bottles real cheap because I like tinkering, and I made a couple alcohol stoves and they worked pretty good, and it got me through the first couple trips and I had no issues with it. I will say though, upgrading to this Snow Peak set was awesome. So in my cook kit I keep a little REI towel. I have my Snow Peak stove. It's the little titanium one. I cannot remember the exact name right now. Maybe it's going to be typed on here. Snow Peak. No, it's this little guy here. All titanium, super light. I usually keep a little mini Bic style lighter in there. And then it has my cook pot in it. All self-contained. So Snow Peak holds up to, what is this one? Can't remember the exact liter. So cup is 10 ounces. I want to say this is 50 ounces. I can't remember exactly. And then I get up to two fuel canisters in there. So it's a nice, compact, tight system. Takes up way less space in my pack. It's way lighter than that stainless steel Goodwill pot that I had in my pack initially. So for me, this was a huge upgrade. For a lot of people, they do the Fancy Feast stoves and alcohol, and they go with that, and they love that. I enjoy just being able to put these on my little tanks and have fire and not have a windshield and all that other stuff to worry about. This is something for me that's worth the wait. That's one of the reasons I consider it a luxury item for me. I did splurge and do the titanium when I bought it. They have a stainless steel version of this, I believe, when I bought it as well, but I wanted to save a little weight here if I could. The only issue I run into with these guys is the fuel canisters when you store them inside. If there's any moisture or condensation in this, the bottom of these canisters will start to rust and leave a rust ring in there. So once again, I hacked up a beer koozie like I did for my Gravity Works filter to kind of act as an insulator. And I just keep this in the bottom for when I store stuff in there. It then also gives me a little pot holder when I'm cooking with, so I don't burn my hands on grabbing stuff. So multi-purpose, and it keeps my inside my pot from getting a rust ring in it. But yeah, Snow Peak Titanium Cook Set is my luxury item number 2. I have had no problems with this at all. It's been super reliable. Boils water super fast, boils a lot of water super fast. I usually take 2 canisters, and that'll be more than enough fuel for me for cooking and boiling water for both me and Melissa when we go on a trail. And that saves her from having to carry a cook set and pot and stuff. So I'll boil water. She'll just bring a coffee cup, and we'll be good to go. So luxury item number 2, Snow Peak Titanium Cook Set and Stove. All right, luxury item number 3 is a brand new piece of gear for me. It is my Columbia Turbo Down 590 jacket. Now, I know some of you thinking, like, come on, where are your Uggs, man? How basic are you? A Columbia puffy jacket? The reason this is luxury for me is it's extremely hard to find backpacking clothing in my size when you're a bigger person. So to be able to get a puffy down jacket that's lightweight and super warm is a luxury for me. You know, when Mountain Hardwear and all those guys start making 4XL puffy jackets that are ultra light, yeah, I'll probably end up buying one, but there doesn't seem to be a huge market for it yet. And so for me, a Columbia puffy down, turbo down jacket is a huge luxury. I've taken this on, been wearing it for about a month and a half, 2 months now. I got it for Christmas. Been super warm. The only time I've had any issues when it was like -30 during the polar vortex. Got a little chilly. I had to layer up. But other than that, this thing's super warm. It's super comfortable and it's super lightweight. Super excited to have it in my arsenal, so when I do some more cold weather or fall or winter camping, I can leave a few layers out of my pack and take this guy to have when I get to camp to stay warm and that kind of stuff. Super comfortable, and I'm really looking forward to getting this out on the trail a little more as the year progresses. So luxury item number 3, Columbia Turbo Down 590 jacket. So there you have it. There are my 3 luxury items for my luxury item challenge. I'm looking forward to getting new items. I actually ordered a couple today. Got my tax refund back, so I have a new tent coming that I'm very excited about for me and Melissa to be able to share when we're on the trail, as well as when the weather's a little colder. I also ordered a new hammock gear top quilt today, so I'm super stoked about both those items. I can't wait for them to get here. When they do, I'll hopefully do a review for you guys and give you some details on how that equipment performs as I use it throughout my journeys and my trails. As far as tagging other people, really can't think of that many people that probably haven't done this already. Let's go with Monarch Outdoors, and let's go from the Dust Outdoors. Just because I haven't seen those guys make a video in over a year. Probably not doing the channel, but we'll tag them in it and see if we can't get them out to make another channel, because I really enjoyed the stuff when they did it. Until next time, this is Quarter Zip signing out. See you guys later down the trail.